Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. I'm just going to share with you today an analogy I often use with my clients, which is about, I get a lot of clients who come to me regarding, they've tried so many things. They'll often say, hey, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried that, kind of implying, hey, they've tried everything. And often the point of difference is what Truly Holistic, what I provide is not about bringing more supplements or changes of diet or medication or acts of doing, to provide healing. It's more a reflection of your own process, because we create our reality through our choices every day. So really, our baseline or foundation for our wellness and vitality is connected to a momentary process based on our own choices, our own decisions. How we're using our energy. How are we holding our energy? Are we leaking our energy out all to different and attaching it to different outcomes that then are not serving you, that are not aligned with your heart's desires? So often I give this analogy where I say all those things that you do, see that as this boulder, right? All the supplements or medications or exercise, whatever you're doing, right, with your wellness and vitality, to regain that or to maintain that. But if you're not presenting your natural state, which I'm talking about here about, being aware and self-aware of your choices, right, that are forming the foundation, forming the baseline for your wellness and vitality, then it's going to feel like, hey, this boulder, I'm going to have to, take it uphill, right? I'm going to have to push it uphill, and it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time to gain the momentum, the traction to the outcome that you're looking for. But if you can learn about presenting this baseline, this foundation, which is your natural state, which we call a state of being. This is why you're called a human being after all. A human presenting the state of being. Then when you can provide that state, right, that foundation, that baseline to begin with, then all you need to do with that boulder is just simply tap it with your finger and allow it to roll downhill effortlessly, right? Doesn't that sound a lot better? Well, it is a lot better. And so this natural state is to be in our heart, to allow our heart to lead us, right? And that is through feel, a pathway that Truly Holistic facilitates and encourages and educates my clients about is heart feel knowing. Because the heart generally knows, because our greatest desires, right, don't come from the brain, don't come from the mind, don't come from the kidney, come from the heart, right? That's why there's the saying, our heart's desires. Now, why that is because the heart knows. The heart knows what it wants, right? So when people talk about, I'd love my life to be this, right? My greatest desires, that's coming from the heart. But how do we get that seed or idea of how we want our life to be, to become reality? Well, the heart needs to take on that process to create that. We need to create it from the heart. But the problem is, as the human, we get taught and conditioned to become thinkers, and that means we take on a different pathway than the heart. We have that seed or idea concept from the heart, but it's not taking the next step into action to create that as your reality. What's happening is the mind comes in place. And so your result of your reality becomes what the mind wants, not what your heart wants. And there's a difference between that. Because what we found at Truly Holistic, when you are in mind, thought, mentality, which every human is taught and conditioned to allow that discernment method or pathway to lead your life, you don't present your natural state. You don't present that foundational baseline to build upon, right? So this is why some people will go, hey, it feels like I take one step forward to only take 3 steps back. Well, that's mentality, because that's being stuck in a loop where we feel like we're trying to gain some momentum, but we don't. When we do, then all of a sudden we loop back onto the same spot again. And the thing about being in your heart and being your natural state is to break that loop and allow that evolvement, that progression, which essentially is change, right? Because what I say to my clients, each one of my clients has one goal in common. You've come to me for change. If you want healing, if you want something that's in your life that you don't like, whether it's a health problem or it's just a relationship problem, whatever that is, it's obviously not aligned with your heart's desires. So that immediately tells me that the client is not allowing their heart to lead their life. They're allowing something else other than the heart to lead their life, and hence they're getting results that are not in alignment with their greatest desires in their heart. So I love that analogy, because we're nothing without presenting our natural state, and for me, it's really holistic, working with clients all around the world on all sorts of different issues over a long period of time. What is the constant in all of that is that majority of them all up here in mind, thought, mentality, right? And it's presenting a state that doesn't support the body, doesn't support their wellness. It doesn't support the manifestation of that person's heart's desires. It just doesn't. But when we get them into the heart within 45 minutes in a session, it's transformational for that client. And of course, it's not just about 45 minutes, it's maintaining that for a lifetime, for days, weeks, months, years. So it requires a change in discernment pathway from mind, thought, mentality to heart, feel, knowing. And Truly Holistic, this is the point of difference we present to you. And so if you'd like to book an appointment, go to trulyholistic.net/appointments/ where you can book your own appointment. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We do video calls. And this is, 99% of my clientele is people all around the world. They get great results. So you don't need to be right next to. And it's a quantum method of healing. And really, when we're dealing with quantum, the word quantum means everything. It also means light, but it also means around where we bypass space-time. So this allows us to connect distance and get the job done. So go and check that page out on my website. I hope you've really enjoyed this analogy and this discussion in regards to a point of difference that perhaps you are missing in your life. Catch you later.